All right, here we go. Unit 4 test review. These first two, these are going to be systems of equations. Now, keep in mind there's two ways of solving a system. You have well, there's three, but we're going to do two. You get substitution and you have elimination. This one is more geared towards substitution. So I'm going to go ahead and do substitution. And I know it's geared towards substitution because y is by itself. So what we can do is we can take this -5 minus 5x, and we are allowed to substitute that in for the y value in the second equation, right? So what we can do is we can make a new equation, this x plus 3, but instead of saying 3y, we're going to say 3 times -5 minus x. Right? That whole thing is going to equal 15. Right, so now we have a second equation that only has x's, no y's, and that's kind of what we want. So now let's just go through standard solving. We're going to have x minus 15 minus 3x equals positive 15. If we kind of move some stuff around, what we're going to have is, I'm not going to have a lot of room here. We are going to have negative 2x equals 30. Okay, and then divide both sides by that -2. You're going to have x equals negative 15. All right, what's nice about substitution is now we don't even have to think about what to plug it into because we know y equals -5 minus x, and we know x was -15. All right, so minus a negative turns into a positive, and we end up with y equaling, let's see here, that's going to be a positive 10. All right, so that is how we do a substitution. Now, number two, that's geared up towards, it's probably going to be better to use elimination. Now, I know it's better for elimination because the x's are all vertically aligned, the y's are vertically aligned. Even the equal signs, they're stacked. Everything is stacked on top of each other. All right, so what we can do here is we can eliminate, right? So you get to pick what letter to eliminate. Now, if we do this as is, right, if we try to add them together, we end up with 6x plus 4y. That's going to equal 0. And that doesn't really help us any because we have a third equation, but it still has x's and y's. Remember, we want to make a new equation that doesn't have, that only has one letter. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out the x values. So that means I need to multiply the bottom equation by a -2. Because when I do that, I end up with -4x plus, we have to be careful, not plus, but a negative. So that'll be minus 2y. That's going to equal positive 6. All right, now the top one didn't change at all. So we have 4x plus 3y. That equals 3. All right, and now we're good to go. We can add those together. Sorry about the miscolors, but get over it. Let's see. The -4 and the positive 4x, they both cancel out. And positive 3y and -2y ends up being 1y. 1y equals 9. All right, so we got y is 9. Now from here, plug it in. Doesn't matter. Top equation, bottom equation does not matter. So let's say I'm going to use the bottom equation because it's just a little bit easier. All right, so we're going to have 2x equals -12. Therefore, x equals -6. All right, and that one's done. So your answer for number 2 is x is -6, y is +9. 5 ways to prove triangle is congruent. All right, hopefully you know these by now. We've been saying these a million times. We have SAS, ASA, SSS. Let's see here. We got angle side. And then the last one, the newest one that we had was HL. It's that hypotenuse leg. So there's your 5. What does CPCTC stand for? I'm just going to type this one in. Corresponding, spell that right. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. All right, so that's what that one means. And when do we use it? We use it after we show two triangles are congruent. We gather up all of those pieces. All right, and speaking of CPCTC, we're going to use it on 5, 6, 7, and 8. MO, I think MO is the first two letters of triangle MOP. SA are the first two letters of triangle SAT. All right, so we know MO has to go with SA. All right, PM. PM, that is the first letter and the last letter. So we've grabbed the first letter and the last letter of the second triangle. We're going to have S, T. Angle T has to go with angle P and triangle TSA. Let's see, we're kind of going backwards. So we're starting the back and then cycling through. TSA, we're going to have PMO. PMO. All right. So now on number 9. Angle M is 80, O is 7x plus 5y, and S equals 5x plus 10y. Angle A is 58. We need to solve. All right, so we had one of these. It was like a warm-up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw these two triangles out. So you have MOP, triangle MOP, and we have, what's the other one, SAT. All right, we have SAT. Now, you might find it helpful to draw a triangle. You don't necessarily need to, as long as you know that angle M, right, angle M goes with angle S. Again, you don't need the picture for it. You can just gather that information off of what they tell us. But some people like the visual aspect. So if you want to do that, by all means do it. So we know M is congruent to S. So we're going to have 5x plus 10y equals 80. All right. And then we know angle O goes with angle A. Right. So again, angle O goes with angle A. So we can say 7x plus 5y equals 58. All right. So now we're gonna do another system here. So I'm gonna change the bottom one. We're gonna multiply this whole thing by a -2. All right, that gives us negative 14x minus 10y. That equals 116, negative 116. All right, top equation did not change at all. 5x plus 10y. That's going to equal 80. And my lights went off. All right. Set them straight down. The x's cancel. I'm sorry, the y's cancel. The x's don't, though. So we're going to have negative 9x. All right, that's going to equal negative 116 plus 80. Or if you want to think about it, we know that answer needs to be negative because the negative number is bigger. Well, if you think about 116, 116 is bigger than 80. So it's a more negative number than that positive number is positive. So if you think of like 116 minus 80, that's 36. So we just need to know, oh, we're going to have a negative 36. All right, and then divide both sides by a -9. And you're going to have x equals, let's see, that should be 4 because 9 times 4 is 36. All right, so now let's go ahead and plug this in. So we got 5 times x is 4. 5x plus 10y. That's going to equal 80. 5 times 4 is 20. So we're going to have 10y equals 60. All right, therefore y is equal to 6. All right. And there we have it. What do we need to do? We need to find x and y. Okay, that one's done. All right. Let's see here. Next one, MO. Right. So up above, we know MO is congruent to SA. All right. So we have 2x minus y equals 14. All right. MP. What do we know? MP. MP is congruent to ST. But we don't know what ST is, so we're going to have to sit on MP for a little bit. But let's figure out OP. We know OP is going to be congruent to AT. All right, so we're going to have 2x plus 3y equals 38. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply that top equation by a -1, all right? And that's going to make things easier because I don't have to change any of the numbers. If you multiply it by a -1, you just change all the signs. So that turns into a -2x, positive 1y, and a -14. Right, this is a little bit less writing in this case. But if we add these together, the x's cancel. All right, we're going to have 4y 4y is going to equal 24. Right? Divide both sides by 5, and you get y going to be equal to 6. Therefore, blue equation, red equation, plug in y, it doesn't matter which one. We'll do red, because red's my favorite color. 2x plus 3 times 6. That's going to equal 38. All right, so we got 2x. 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to subtract that over. We're going to get a 20. And then we end up with x equals 10. Now, we are not done because they want us to find ST, right? We did the hard part, okay? So we know ST must be congruent to, what should ST be congruent to? MP. ST has to be congruent to MP, right? So we know MP equals x plus 4y. All right, well, we know what x is. X is 10. We know what y is. Y is 6. All right, so that equals, let's see, 4 times 6, 24, plus 10. That's going to give us 34. All right, so ST equals 34. And now that one's done. All right, so a lot of systems here. So question 1 and 2, systems. Question 9 and 10, systems. I don't know, that's a lot of systems. So maybe there's going to be a system on your tests. Right? Wouldn't make you practice those for no reason, would I? All right, a lot going on here. Angle 1. Angle 1 is 90 degrees. Okay, and I know it's 90 degrees because it's adjacent to that 90-degree angle, right? These lines are perpendicular. So that one's pretty easy to see right off the bat, 90 degrees. All right, let's see here. Angle 2, keep in mind angle 2 is complementary to 67 degrees. So we just have to think 67 plus angle 2 equals 90. All right, so we just have to think, what is that going to be? And that's 23. All right, because 23 plus 67 gets us 90. All right, now, angle 3. Let's look at this straight line here. All right, so angle 3 and 120, they're not complementary, they're supplementary. So we know 120 plus angle 3 is 180. All right, so you got to think, okay, 120 plus what is 180? That is 60. So we have a 60-degree angle. All right, that one's done. Number 4, angle number 4. We have to use what we know about triangles. All right, so angle 3 was a 60-degree angle. We have a 67-degree angle. So what we have to do is we have to think about what should a triangle add up to, right? We know the interior angles on a triangle add up to 180 degrees. We proved that. That was one of the first things we proved in this unit. So if you don't believe me, go back, look through your notes, and confirm for yourself. All right, but anyways, we know angle 4 has to be that missing piece that gets us up to 180. So let's see, 127 plus, that should be 43. I don't have a calculator here, so hopefully that's correct, and it's not. That's 53, right? 127 plus 3 is 130. 130 plus 50 is, yeah, so 53. Okay. Angle 5. What do we do about angle 5? Before we get to angle 5, let's look at angle 6. Notice how angle 6 is congruent to angle 3. Those are vertical angles. All right, so I'm just going to write that one down. That'll save us a little bit of time here. So angle 6 is, did I say 30? Angle 6 is 60 degrees. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see here. What else could we say? All right, let's do this. No, that's not going to help. Where can we go from here? Oh, these lines are parallel. Okay. We know they're parallel because of those arrows. That's nice to know because we can't do this problem without that. So think back, parallel lines means alternate interior angles are congruent. So angle 5, angle 5 is an alternate interior angle with 49 degrees, right? So angle 5 is 49. All right. Angle 7. Angle 7 is congruent to angle 6. Those are corresponding. All right, so we said angle 6 was 60. That means angle 7 is also 60. And last but not least, angle 8. All right, so we have a 60-degree angle. We have a 49-degree angle. We know 60 plus 49 plus angle 8 equals 180 degrees. 60 plus 49 is 109. 109 plus angle 8 has to equal 180. That gets us to 71. That has to be a 71-degree angle. All right, and there we have it. That is the first page of our test review. We got 4 pages total, so I'll see you guys in the next video.